Welcome back, dear viewers. You're still watching The Breakfast Show live on Nile TV International. It's now time for our first topic of discussion for today, and we're going to be talking about the confidence that has been put forth by the international organizations in the Egyptian economy, especially when it comes to dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic that has gripped the whole world. And to shed more light on this topic, we're most delighted to be joined by Dr. Zainab, Tajuddin, an economic expert. Good morning, doctor, and thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Zainab Nawar, and let's talk about the Standard & Poor's credit rating for Egypt stands at B with stable outlook. How important or valuable could be this piece of news?
This piece of news is very important because we have like the time that we have now of the coronavirus and all the economic effect on different countries of the world and also of the global economy. And then we are, as Egypt, with few countries, we still maintain B with a stable outlook. Means what? Means that our economy is stable for future. Our economy is able to face the crisis of coronavirus. We are on the right path. We can confront and deal with any problem. The importance of Standard & Poor's and Fitch and all of these types of institutions that put this type of credit rating, that there's no investor is going to come to your country. They have to first to have a look of this type of credit ratings that reflects how your economy is strong, how you deal with crisis, how we deal with the current situation. So it is very important for any investor, if we talk about individual investors, companies, mutual funds that is coming to your country, they have to look to these types of indices and to make sure that your country and the economy is working on the right path. So all of these types of indices, it gives like a snapshot of the economy and tells a lot about Egypt and tells a lot that for any investor, for any future prospects of the country, there is no economic problem, which is so important for us.
Also, doctor, despite all the precautionary measures and the restrictions, but the Egyptian state is working against the clock. And yesterday the president was inaugurating some projects in the Suez Canal axis. If you could tell us the significance of inaugurating such projects during these times.
Also the importance of the openings of these what I call important national projects, because also it tells another message that we are continuing in our progress. Despite that we have a crisis out there, we have an external shock coming into our country, but we are solid and we are trying to face this problem. We have to continue what we used to do because it's part of increasing our growth, it's part of continuing in our economic progress. Linking Sinai with the rest of the governorate is a very important factor because I had said it and I said it before that the Bedouin in Sinai are facing a lot of economic difficulties. Sinai is a land of opportunities and it's not used. We have to link Sinai with the rest of Egypt because we want to deal with the terrorism, we want to deal with the poverty there, we want to deal with all of the problems that is coming from whatever part in Egypt, which is Sinai. So the only way is to fight terrorism is by economic growth and economic development. And part of it is to work on developmental projects in Sinai and to link Sinai with the rest of Egypt. This is very important. And also this will bring prosperity and development for the Bedouin who are living in Sinai. Those Bedouin, actually they need a lot of support, they need a lot of economic support, they need employment opportunities, and also they need to have a food with suitable prices. One of the very important factors of linking Sinai, in addition to the important development of course and growth, we will have the fruits of this to Egypt. Part of it that you will give the opportunity for this Bedouin to live a good standard of living. They will be able to work and to travel from Sinai to the rest of the governorate. You know that if you would like to travel from Cairo to Sinai, for example, by bus, it will take more than 12 hours. So this is a lot, this is a lot. And the road is very harsh and it's very difficult. So you imagine how the poor Bedouin, if they would like to go from Sinai to Cairo, for example, or to different governorates, they will not be able to do this. If they'd like to travel to get food or to get whatever they would like, material to work, for example. So how they're going to do this, given this leakage of the travel and transportation means. So linking Sinai to Egypt, it's very important to Egypt, and also it's very important to the Bedouin who are living in Sinai.
How do you evaluate the current economic situation in Egypt, given the current amidst the current crisis and the COVID-19 and the lockdown and everything? How is that being assessed amongst compared to the world economy?
I will tell you, I had done this comparison through a Skype call to my friends who are living in Italy, living in India. I will tell you something, that we are in Egypt. Actually, the government is doing a huge effort and is doing well in dealing with the crisis. If you think for other governors, other countries in the world, I also, when I talk to any one of my colleagues or friends, professors, they also keep saying, we have leakage in a certain medicine supply. We have a leakage. We don't find these sanitizers. It's not available in our country, which is in Italy or India. But here in Egypt, you don't see this. So we can say that the base or the minimum scale, which is the health of the population, the health of the Egyptians, no, the government is taking care of this. This is the first thing. If we talk about the economic, we have, of course, the government had launched a lot of packages and economic packages to support the poor and to support the small and medium enterprises, and also to support the households, the deferment of payments of loans that had made to the households. This was all an excellent steps that truly helps the sector of the households and also the small and medium enterprises. During crisis, for any government, it's crucial to give this kind of stimulus packages to those who are in need for this, just to prevent any more economic consequences or more leakages to occur to the economy. So in terms of dealing with the crisis, no, the Egyptian government are doing an excellent effort. In terms of economic effort, it's also an excellent effort, trying to prevent or to decrease the negative effect of the crisis on the economy.
Doctor, also, if you take it to another level, how do you see the performance of the global economy given the COVID-19, and several economies were hardly hit, and even some businesses have came to a complete standstill? How do you see this?
I see that the global economy is in a chaos. For some of the declarations of some of the governments for some countries, they seem that they don't know what they are going to do. They seem that they don't have a clear plan for what they're going to do. But I see that for us as Egypt, no, we have, as for the Egyptian government, we have a plan. Everything had moved gradual. We have say that good economic indicators given this crisis that we do have. Other countries, other estimates for other countries, the estimates of the global economy, maybe it will be moved to be a negative economic growth. So relevant to what's going on out there, we are doing well. What's going on in China, in the US, in England, no, it's a terrible situation. The US, there is an estimate that there will be about 6 million of the US citizens, they will be unemployed. The interest rates went down to the ground at the US, and of course the decrease in the prices of the petroleum at the US. So you have what we used to call giant economies, they are collapsing, and they don't have plans, and they don't know what they're gonna do. And of course there is a social issues and social problems that had been raised, like the 6 million who will be unemployed of the US. The US has started to have this debate, what we shall do with this amount of unemployed labor. So it's chaos out there. We hope that other countries, they can deal with the situation and this economic crisis, because we want trade, and we want to come back because we want to export as Egyptians to other countries. So we hope that these negative effects and these negative things that we should be removed the soonest possible.
Of course, we witnessed the opening of Ismailia's 2 tunnels passing under the Suez Canal, the development of Sinai in particular, as we speak of. How important is it in light of developing with the whole country? How could it be linked and have a great, huge impact of our economic growth?
Also, I need to add something about the tunnels. The importance of the tunnels and the importance of course, it's the transportation and linking linking Sinai to the rest of Egypt, and also the movement of the Egyptians to Sinai. So some of them will look for jobs in Sinai. We have to link it also with the project of the Suez Canal corridor. The efforts that the government is trying to do is what? They want this piece of land to be connected. They want the industrial project that is going to be launched in the Suez corridor, which will be hopefully to be very soon, to have this free movement to Sinai and also to the rest of governorates. This type of linkage of the industrial projects in the Suez Canal corridor, industrial zones in Port Said, the tunnels in Sinai, and how this will ease the movement of the individuals and the businessmen and even the Bedouin themselves to move and to do business. This for sure will bring a lot of development to the area of Sinai, and also if we talk about the Suez Canal and Sinai. So we are hoping that since that the complete of these projects and the linking of these areas all together with the rest of the governorates, it will help and it will bring a lot to Egypt in terms of economic development. And also we hope that the negative situation that we have now because of the coronavirus, so we'll come back to work again, and the world will come back to trade, and we are hoping to have more investors to come to the Suez Canal corridor to invest and to work also in industrial projects, and also with the link with the ports. So it's all about, it's a complete cycle altogether, and it would have, it will have a good effect for the economy of Egypt after the completion of this project and this type of linkage.
Yes. Also, your advice to the startups and the young Egyptians that might have been affected by the COVID-19 crisis.
What would be my advice for them? In terms of whether they are in college or whether they are working?
Yes, startups, young Egyptian youth.
I would say to them, it's very normal that to have what we call it's global crisis, and it happened before at 2018, and it happened before this. Maybe in 2000, maybe in 1 or 2. Yes. So every once in a while, the global economy, unfortunately to tell you, used to have a crisis. Either this crisis because of economic problem or a health problem like we have now for the coronavirus. So they have to work, they have to have this type of solid understanding, and they have this type of belief that this negative thing that we do have, it will be removed very soon, and they have to work hard on themselves and not to be afraid, because this is normal. If we had read history, we'll find a lot of crises. We have found a lot of external shocks. We had, as Egyptians, a lot of shocks and internal shocks. We have 2011, we have what come after that, and we have a time which we used to have some sort of inequality in our economy. So all of these circumstances, it occurs into all the communities. Either it's internal or external. So it's our rule as a youth is to work and to work hard on ourselves. And for the students in the schools, for the students at colleges, they have to study and they have to do their own work, which is very important.
Of course, as President Abdel Fattah Sisi have asserted the importance of the continuing with the wheel of production and continuing with our efforts to be able to build on our economy and not stop on a level of success. We should continue no matter what happens. Of course, with all the taking heed and all the precautionary measures that could be taken to confront the COVID-19 virus, which is a global outbreak, not only in the Arab world, but worldwide. And it has taken its toll and will take its toll until it stops. But then, how do you assess the idea of extending the curfew and in order to give space to a balance between taking the precautionary measures, avoid the jammed places, avoid the rush hours, and at the same time start on working, motivating some work sectors? How is that being assessed according to your own perception?
The government started to do this gradually. I mean, and also the government, they
it's
by
a very
intent,
smart plan, by the way.
Yes, yeah, by intent, they didn't at the very earlier time said to us, you have to stay at home, you have a risk. No, they just started gradually by saying that there is no schools, and then there is no universities, and then please, for the Egyptian citizens, you have to stay at home maybe from 6 to 6, and then after a while, that we started to have some sort of what we say that we want to go back to work again, because we can't stay like this for more. And we are now for about 1 month maybe. We are staying. Most of us are staying at home, doing online meetings, which is an excellent also. But after a while, things have to go on. We have to produce, because we cannot stop the work of factories and companies anymore. Because of the time that there was a stopping of the factories, stopping of the companies, some of the companies and some of the factories, I'm talking about the private sector, they had stopped or thinking about decreasing the number of labor, because not all the companies, they can afford to pay salaries without being producing something. So it is very normal that gradually that we have to come back to our work and to come back to our production. And also, it's the responsibility for the Egyptians is to take the important protection means, sanitizing.
He said he's gonna, the Prime Minister very clearly said, I'm going to leave it to the, awareness of the Egyptian people. And we have strong faith in our peoples that they have good awareness and they're going to abide by the precautionary measures.
Yes, because we can't be in this closure anymore. Yani, we have to produce, and now it's the role of the Egyptian citizens. It's before it was the role of the government to take care of the health, which is still the role of the government. But now we need more responsibility from the Egyptians, is to take care from themselves in terms of health and also to work. Because we cannot stop working anymore. We can't continue like this. We have to produce, because not all the private sectors and also not the small and medium enterprise can bear the cost of the closure or the less time of work that we do have.
Doctor, as we're wrapping up, your closing remarks or your final comments?
My final comments on this, that I hope that all what we have now is to be deleted and removed soon, and I hope that for us as Egyptians to come back to work, and also for Egypt is to maintain our economic progress and our prosperity for future.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Nawar.
Thank you.
Yes, Dr. Zainab Nawar, economic expert, thank you so much for being with us, and thank you so much for your insight.
Thank you. Thank you.
And dear viewers, now we move on to a quick break, and then we'll be back to resume the breakfast show live on Nile TV International.